For our next first impressions video for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, we'll have a look at Moon Knight. For anyone that's unaware of Moon Knight, he's essentially Batman, but he wears white because he doesn't give a enemies seeing him or wailing away on him. He almost seems to welcome it, so he's a pretty awesome character. He also won the recent poll I put up in regards to the first beginner's guide I'll cover out of the 4 characters that have just been released. Now, in the video anyway, if you've not watched the previous ones, this is essentially a beginner's guide light. So we start off by talking about how you actually unlock Moon Knight, the gauntlet trial he's locked behind, and if that trial has anything in particular you really need to know in order to beat it nice and easy. We'll then check out his abilities, we'll look at his stats because I've already punched them into the spreadsheet to work them out. We'll see if he's got any specific hero traits, and then following on from that we'll have some gameplay. It's the gameplay we're actually showing off at the moment, but we'll show off the full playthrough, and it's essentially a run through of a high level Mega Rift with a level 100 Moon Knight, and that way we can compare him to the other characters who are running through the very same rift. And then just to finish up the video, I'll give my overall impressions. So let's start off and talk about how you actually unlock him. In order to unlock Moon Knight then, it's a Blood Moon Rising Gauntlet. It's level 25, so if you've got high level characters you don't need to worry too much about strategy. If your characters are on the lower side, there's a lot of bosses to go through here. In order to get the full 4 stars on it, you need to get a win streak of 12, which means you need to actually complete it 3 times, so that'll be a fair amount of bosses. So if you take in the likes of Black Panther, Wolverine or Thor, they can be very nice for taking them down. Now, you want to avoid using your Miss Marvel and Wasp if you run that combo, the spin to win, because they've set this one up so that your energy points actually drop as you're going through the level, and you need to do your more regular attacks and actually in order to build it back up again, so you can't just spin and defeat all the enemies. And I actually like this, and I wonder if that's the reason they've set this up in this way. But that's how you unlock him. Let's now have a look at his abilities. First ability we have here is Moonland, and so for this one, grapples to a targeted spot in the sky, then attack everything in the area as a character lands, and you can hold down the button to aim. So if you've played Nightcrawler, this sounds like it'll be very similar to that, in that you can just tap the button to jump up and down, or if there's a target further away or away to the side, then you can hold it down to actually target. The damage and stagger are both C on this. Then Vengeance Burst, so leaps backwards and throws crescent-shaped blades that explode. It looks like they really like the leaping backward and throwing projectiles in this update, given that Punisher had 2 skills such as that. Damage is up at B, so that should do a decent amount. And then it's Khonshu's Fury, so with this, swings nunchucks in all directions and attack to the front of the character, press repeatedly to continue attacking. Quite a few characters have that, the likes of, let's see, Daredevil, Morbius, who we just looked at, and Wolverine as well. So generally with this you're better off just tapping it once, because the final attack normally does a huge amount of damage. Final one is Crescent Kick, so advances to close in foes, so it's good with melee characters to have a move that allows you to do this, and then kicks them as a character jump. So damage and stagger are both at C there. So let's actually now check out his abilities and see if he's got any specific hero traits. The tags on the abilities anyway, he's got 3 melee and he's got 1 energy there, so that's a little bit of a pain because otherwise you could go all melee on him. But when I have a further look at him, we need to see if Vengeance Burst is worth using that often, because if not, then you just go for melee with your ISOs. His hero trait is Glide, which is actually a new one. It's different from Flight, so it's nice to see they're actually putting in new hero traits on characters and new mechanics, the likes of Morbius, who would jump in characters and he would feed on them and get a strength boost. I really like when they do that. Now, looking at his stats here, they're fairly decent. His strength is B, vitality is C, mastery is C, resilience is B, durability is D, and then finally energy is B. So actually overall having 3 Bs is definitely on the higher side. A lot of characters always really fall around about a C or a D, so 3 Bs is really pretty nice there. So let's now run into the gameplay, and this is the Omega Infinity Trial. As with the other first impressions videos, and that's Morbius and Punisher we've done so far, then this is the first time I've actually took the character into gameplay. So Moon Knight is level 100, this is the Omega Rift, and this particular one is the Wakandan Rush wave. So we need to take down 200 enemies. We're going to play around, get used to his rotation, and then at the end I'll give my general impressions as well, and we can compare the time that it's taken to actually beat the stage to the other characters we've looked at so far. So I actually really quite enjoyed that there. I felt the combat flowed really well with him, certainly much better than Punisher and marginally better than Morbius, who still felt fun, but the combat really did flow well there with Moon Knight. Doesn't feel very original in that you've got Moon Landing, which comes direct from Nightcrawler. You've then got Khonshu's Fury, which about 4 or 5 other characters have. But if a character's fun to play, it doesn't really matter if they don't feel original, because we can't have every character feeling unique. I really like the crescent kick and the animation on it, the closing the gap, and the moon symbol when he does it as well is really awesome, and then following it up with either moon landing or Khonshu's Fury really did feel pretty fun. Looks like Vengeance Burst does a fair amount of damage as well, so that's going to have to be considered when it comes to actually building and what ice weight to use. But overall, really pretty fun. I would say out of the 3 so far, he just pips Morbius by a small amount. Morbius is a very original character, but his combat didn't flow as well as Moon Knight, who may be unoriginal, but his combat felt really nice. So let me know in the comments below if you've unlocked Moon Knight, how you're getting on with him, and hopefully, fingers crossed tonight, I'll get the final first impressions out, and that will be for Blade. But thanks for tuning in for this. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and the share button, and I'll see you all again soon.